While many countries are recognized for their socio-economic development, global health impact, and significant infrastructure advancements, a few attract attention for rather unusual reasons. The Gambia, through its association with sex tourism, has garnered worldwide notoriety. Since the 1990s, the Gambia has become a popular destination for European women seeking sexual encounters with young African men, commonly referred to as toy boys. This trend originated when budget-friendly travel packages were introduced to the small West African nation by international travel agencies. However, after more than 30 years of accepting thousands of middle-aged women who arrived for the purpose of engaging in sex tourism, the Gambian government has decided to change its image and attract more respectable tourists. Due to high unemployment rates and low wages in the Gambia, which has an estimated population of 2.5 million, a relationship with a wealthy Western woman is viewed as a financial opportunity by these young men. Presently, the Gambia is the most sought-after destination for European women seeking sexual encounters in Africa. Retired British women in their 80s and other European women travel to the country in search of companionship or to engage in transactional sexual activities. These men are commonly referred to as bumpsters. However, how did this situation come about? As the Gambia consistently attracted attention to itself, this video will explore how the country became known as a hub for sexual encounters with elderly British women. Please subscribe to our channel and enable notifications for future uploads. Now, let's delve into this topic. First, let's provide a brief overview of the Gambia. The Gambia, officially known as the Republic of the Gambia, has always faced economic and political challenges. It is situated in West Africa, on the Atlantic coast, and is surrounded by Senegal, with the exception of its western coastline. The Gambia may be small in size, but it has earned a reputation as a place where hustlers thrive. The Gambia is situated on both sides of the lower reaches of the Gambia River, the nation's namesake, which flows through the center of the Gambia and empties into the Atlantic Ocean, explaining the long shape of the country. As of the 2021 census, it had a population of over 2.6 million people living in an area covering 11,300 square kilometers. The largest cities in the Gambia are Serekunda and Brikama, while the capital and largest metropolitan area is Banjul. Since English is the Gambia's official language, it is used in both official and educational settings. Additionally, Mandinka, Wolof, Fula, Jola, Pular, and other native vernaculars are spoken in the country. The geographical location of the nation contributes to the relatively widespread knowledge of French, which is the official language of West Africa. The Gambia boasts a liberal market-based economy characterized by several features, including low import duties, minimal administrative procedures, a fluctuating exchange rate without exchange controls, a significant tourism history, and a reliance on groundnuts for export earnings. However, the tourism sector has witnessed a shift, as it has become a destination for European grandmothers seeking romantic experiences and relationships with Gambian youths, rather than solely focusing on its natural beauty. Female sex tourism. To better understand the sex tourism industry in the Gambia and its rapid growth, it is essential to comprehend the concept of female sex tourism. According to tourismteacher.com, female sex tourism refers to women who travel to a destination specifically to engage in sexual activities with members of the local community. Unlike male sex tourism, female sex tourism often involves seeking more than just sexual encounters. Women engaging in sex tourism frequently desire romantic and intimate relationships with local men. Although the female sex tourism industry is smaller and less known to the general public compared to its male counterpart, it plays a significant role in the Gambia's tourism landscape. One of the most popular regions for sex tourism in the Gambia is the Senegambian Strip, particularly the coastal area surrounding Kalali. Visits are often arranged through neighborhood bumpsters. In this context, the Gambia's sex tourism primarily involves European women, commonly referred to as grannies, who seek romantic experiences and sexual encounters with Gambian toy boys. These women, predominantly over 40 years old and originating from the United Kingdom, often spend substantial amounts of money to attract the attention of the young men they are interested in. The sex tourism phenomenon in the Gambia emerged as early as the 1990s and has grown steadily over the past 12 years. It is important to note that the origin of sex tourism in the Gambia is closely linked to the desire of European women to fill the romantic void left by failed marriages or divorces in their home countries. You may be wondering where it all began. Well, it all started when affordable package tours were introduced to a small West African country by travel agencies from the UK. The Gambia, a former British colony, is now striving to change its reputation as a sex tourism destination and attract high-quality travelers. The government of the Gambia is focusing on promoting the country's wildlife and cultural attractions, including 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites and over 300 bird species, in an effort to boost quality tourism. Interestingly, while UK grannies may prefer rock music over birdwatching, the Gambia has become a hotspot for sex tourism, with stories of middle-aged Western women seeking one-night stands, vacation romances, and long-term relationships grabbing headlines. However, it's not just about relationships. There are also incidents of Gambian love cheats, visa scams, and polygamy. So, what led to the boom in the Gambia's sex industry? How did the country gain such a notorious reputation? But before passing judgment or making accusations, let's consider some facts about the primary cause behind the Gambia's rise as a favorite destination for European grandmothers. More than 1/3 of the country's 1.7 million population live below the UN poverty line of $1.25 per day. The Gambian sex tourism industry primarily relies on the cheap labor of young unemployed Gambian men. Many men in the Gambia consider their bodies as their main asset. Consequently, they engage in strategic sexual encounters with older female tourists from wealthier countries in order to commodify their bodies. It is essential to understand that sex tourism in the Gambia involves more than a simple exchange of money for sexual services. Terms like transactional sex, such as kampudu, and tactical sex help us comprehend the dynamics of sex tourism in the Gambia. While some men and women in the Gambia may identify themselves as prostitutes, with clear transactional relationships between tourists and hosts, the majority of Gambian men employ tactical sex as a means to generate income. They engage in sexual interactions with Western female tourists to acquire gifts, money, and potentially even a visa for migration to Europe. Unlike female sex tourists who may perceive the relationship as romantic, Gambian men view these sexual encounters as a form of labor that provides them with income. They take pride in working independently to support themselves and their families. Apart from their immediate financial goals, these young Gambian men often seek sponsorship for a visa to Europe as a long-term objective, hoping for a better life. While grannies may seem to be the focal point, the Gambian men play a significant role in the country's tourism sector through their involvement in sex tourism. Gambian men actively search the beach for potential romantic partners and may also work as taxi drivers, waiting near the beach to pick up tourists in need of a ride. They frequent memoirs, eateries, parks, and nightclubs in the Kalali Beach area, which is a popular tourist destination, in an attempt to establish romantic connections. The Gambian state refers to these men as bumpsters and often views them as a nuisance, causing negative interactions between tourists and locals. Consequently, the state responds aggressively by arresting Gambians involved in the sexual economy, sending them to labor camps, and even forcibly shaving their dreadlocks. These men, however, are participants and representatives of the Gambian tourism industry, not a bother to tourists. The men cater to visitors who come to the country with specific needs in mind. They have a positive economic impact on tourism and make significant contributions to the tourism industry. The role of the Gambian government in the sex industry is noteworthy. The Gambian government claims to be taking considerable measures to change the perception of sex tourism in the country. However, it is unclear what specific actions they are taking to overcome this reputation. According to tourismteacher.com, the Gambia is often compared to sex tourism destinations like Thailand or Jamaica, but the authorities are determined to avoid such a classification. It seems that the government faces significant challenges, particularly considering the current difficulties in the Gambian tourism sector. Undoubtedly, the Gambia's sex tourism industry currently plays a substantial role in its economy. While the government strives to combat activities that are detrimental to both tourists and locals, it is difficult to predict when this issue will be fully resolved. Nevertheless, the Gambia is a beautiful country with much more to offer visiting tourists than just street corner sex. That concludes our discussion. We invite you to share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and enable post notifications to stay updated on our future uploads.